welcome all to SIBPS online classes. As you already know that school has started with this online platform to grow in this difficult time. Let us explore the new ways to learn economics. Okay, let us start with the output method of calculation of national income. We have already done income and expenditure method. There comes the turn for finding out the output method. The another name for output method is value added method. In this question, we have to find the gross value added by the producer. How to find the value added by the producer? We are to subtract intermediate consumption from value of output. As much as it is sold by the producer, if we will subtract intermediate consumption from that, that means the value of raw material from those value of sales, we will get the value added by the producers. The gross value added is also called GDP at MP. If the question asks you to find the value of GDP at MP, that means you have to find the value of gross value added itself by subtracting intermediate consumption from value of output. If value of output is not given in the question, how to find that value of output? We need to add change in stock to the value of sales. Sales plus change in stock will be equals to value of output. If the question does not provide you with the value of sales, you have to multiply price into quantity. Price into quantity will be equals to sales plus change in stock. If change in stock is not given, then we have to subtract opening stock from closing stock. That means sales plus change in stock minus intermediate consumption will be equals to gross value added. If sales is not given, multiply price with quantity. If change in stock is not given, subtract opening stock from this closing stock to find this value. This plus this is equals to this minus this is equals to gross value added, which is also called GDP at MP. Sometimes the question will not give you the value of sales, it will provide the distribution of the sales. How to calculate that value? If question says that domestic sales is equals to this and question also gives you the value of exports, then you have to add domestic sales and exports to find the value of sales. If question already gives you the value of sales, you have to ignore these two terms. But if sales is not given, either find this way or this is the another way of finding the value of sales. Domestic sales plus exports is equals to the value of sales. Same is the value for intermediate consumption. Sometimes the question does not give you with the value of intermediate consumption. How to find the value of intermediate consumption? If question says raw material that is being taken from inside the territory, raw material from domestic boundary, then you have to add import into this to find the value of intermediate consumption. That means if intermediate consumption is given, we are to ignore all such values. If intermediate consumption is not given, we are to add raw material taken from domestic territory, raw material taken from inside the territory of the country plus imports, that means taken from outside the country. So this will give you the value of GDP at MP. From this GDP at MP, you can reach to NNP at FC. How? By subtracting depreciation, by adding NF by A, by subtracting the value of net. You will reach to the value of national income. The question will guide you for the calculation value. You need to reach for that particular value as suggested by the question. There is the another way of finding the output method. What is that way? If the question gives you with the value of output by primary sector, by secondary sector, by tertiary sector, you are to add these three values, then you have to subtract the intermediate consumption of all three sectors respectively. Value of output of primary sector, of secondary sector, of tertiary sector, add these three values and then subtract the intermediate consumption of three values. You will reach to the value of GDP at MP. this value of output plus minus intermediate consumption from that addition value, you will reach to GDP at MP. From this GDP at MP, you can reach to NNP at FC, which is also called national income. How to reach to this NNP at FC? You must know this thing. From gross towards net minus depreciation, from domestic towards national plus NFIA, from MP towards FC minus net. This is all about the value added method.